I think what makes Dan the perfect person to be the Doctor's companion is he's good looking.
So we've got a new member of our team who's played by the wonderful John Bishop, and he's playing a character called Dan, who we, I suppose, accidentally encounter in the very first episode of this season.
He's somebody who's been born and bred and stayed in Liverpool, and he's not really ventured out, and his horizons seem to have been limited by his life experience. He's got a heart of gold, he's everybody's friend, but he's got a few little failings of his own. He's not doing very well financially. He helps out at the food bank, and he's trying to help other people, but he's not doing really very well.
Dan is an everyday man from Liverpool, and is very keen to join these strangers on this journey.
It's a rapid series of events that go from being in a food bank to some kids knocking on his door to trick or treat to being in a spaceship being kidnapped.
You're mad. And I'm taking you off-world.
What do you mean off-world? That's space.
The Doctor and Yaz realise that there's something going wrong with an old foe of the Doctor. So we go to check that out. It turns out that this house is shrunk, and then when we meet the owner of the house, sometime later we find out it's Dan.
By the way, here's your house.
What? How did that happen?
Dan's journey with the Doctor and Yaz is very much accidental, and it's a crossing of paths.
The thing about it is bonkers for any character to do that, but I think what you have to embrace with Doctor Who is that if you look at all the friends in the past, they're taken from a normal life, put into an abnormal situation, but within a couple of scenes, they have to go, I'm either embracing this, or I'm going to spend all my time going, wow, wow. You've got to think that he's going to go, right, well, this is happening, so I've just got to get on with it.
Is all this inside that box?
It's bigger on the inside.
I can see that.
It's called a TARDIS.
I had a mate who had one of these. I think his was a bit bigger, actually.
Shut up.
Chris Chibnall met me. Most people won't know that he's got an association with Liverpool. He's from Liverpool, he's a Liverpool supporter, he wanted it based in Liverpool, he wanted the Liverpool storyline to come through. That was a real attractive part of it, because Liverpool as a personality will become part of the backdrop.
Dan, you've got to stop. You don't work here, you're not a guide. Stop pretending to be official.
I am official. Official Scouse.
Dan's entrance kind of affects the TARDIS team quite a lot. The Doctor and Yaz are quite a tight unit. They've known each other for a long time now. They've been through a lot of adventures together, and it's interesting to kind of drop a new presence like Dan into that and see how it affects what's quite a tight unit and a tight friendship. And I think it's good and interesting to see how Dan kind of shakes up the TARDIS team, and particularly how Yaz feels towards him, and having this outsider suddenly come along with her. In a way, it sort of shows how far she's come when all of a sudden there is someone who's completely new to this world dropped into it.
Where have you come from?
Why? Fussy about who you get rescued by?
Well, I don't know. I can trust you. You might be with the dog fella.
Does this look like a face you can trust?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Are you an alien too?
The interesting point for Dan coming into the relationship with the Doctor now is that the Doctor's been with Yaz, and Yaz has been with the Doctor for, it appears, over a year now, so she's very used to everything that's going on. She's almost like a co-pilot with the Doctor.
What Dan is experiencing on screen by becoming this new part of Team TARDIS is kind of reflected by John being new to this to the crazy world of Doctor Who.
It's a strange thing becoming a new companion in something like Doctor Who, because it's so massive and so well known. Dan's come in as the new person, and he does represent the viewer's eyes and sort of go, well, what is that? And there's a lot of that simple questions which within the narrative of the story, somebody's got to punctuate it in order for the story to be explained to the viewers.
Who's she talking to?
The TARDIS?
What? This is alive?
No idea, but they do chat.
The Doctor's seen and done so much, and Yaz has been on this journey, and they've got this energy between them that you almost need somebody in there going, like, why are we doing this? What's all that about? And that's where he comes in.
if you can see yourself in them, the show becomes more relatable, because actually it is pretty far-fetched. So in order to, you know, we all want a bit of escapism, but in order to really to connect with this escapism, what can we do? Well, we can put people in there that feel like the audience.
You almost need to have somebody who's not like your dad, but who's like your dad's mate. Somebody who can probably be handy with a screwdriver if you need it, even though the Doctor doesn't need that. You just need somebody in there who's a good companion to the Doctor, who doesn't necessarily need to be told all the lessons of life.
Dan's character is really down to earth, a normal guy. He's taken aback by all of this, like, which is probably what we started off as, but actually now, for obviously Yaz, it's not like, what is this, where are we? He's now playing that part, which also if new people are tuning in and asking these questions or wanting to know the answer to these questions, Dan's asking them.
If you look through all the series, the Friends have something different about them, but I would suspect that what the Doctor looks for is somebody with a bit of a human frailty, because the Doctor's role is to bond with humanity, the way I see it, and to try and help heal humanity or fix humanity through fixing one person, which is a great message, because if everyone could do that, then the world would be a better place.
Don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.